Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS free, unscripted, and unrehearsed organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e commerce world. And this is our monthly training with Ask Me Anything that we do once a month for the community. We go over a certain topic that has to do with selling on Amazon, and then we open it up to any and all questions that you guys might have out there. So, this month, the topic is going to be we're right in the middle of Q4, getting into the thick of things. So, how can we do research, especially going into December, to see, hey, what are the unique keywords that I need to be focused on in order to get sales from? Like, how can I do historical keyword research in order to know what keywords that are going to give me a good chance to get sales in December? Because unlike other months, December is probably the month of the year that has the most unique keywords that bring in sales. Now, obviously, that's not going to be the case if you're doing Valentine's Day products or something super seasonal. Of course, there is going to be more, another month where there's going to be more keywords that are very unique compared to the other months. But for just the general thing, you see a lot of giftable keywords that you might not have on your radar in other months. And so the question is, if you've never been selling, if you have a product that you just launched this year and you haven't been selling before, how can you do historical keyword research to know what those keywords are? If you have been selling in previous years, what are the best ways to do research? Um, Maybe you don't have Helium 10. What is available for you in Amazon Seller Central that allows you to do historical keyword research? All right. So these are the kind of things that we're going to be going over today. So let me know, those of you watching live, let me know in the comments where you guys watching from, and I'll give you some shout outs while I get my screen set up here. All right, we've got Argentina in the house. Valentino, welcome. Ecuador, Veronica, awesome. Italy, we got Darren from New Jersey in the house. Jenna from Philadelphia. We've got Megan from Los Angeles. Anita from LA. Maybe y'all are neighbors and don't even realize it. Emmanuel from Switzerland. Emmanuel, where in Switzerland are you? Next Friday, I might be doing a meetup in Zurich for Helium 10 members because I'm going to be there for about 8 hours on my way to Africa. So maybe you can join the meetup over there. We've got Shermy Wong from Atlanta. Welcome. Josh from Philly. We've got Mustafa from Dubai. There's another place. I'm going to be there for 3 days right after Switzerland. A couple days after or a day after I visit Africa, I'll be in Dubai for the World F conference. So those of you who are listening to this live, if you're anywhere in the region, I'll go to h10.me/Dubai, I think it is. And check out that conference because I'll be speaking at that conference and we'll be doing some Helium 10 meetups there as well. All right. So everybody who's watching live, welcome, welcome. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. And we're actually going to do like an exercise of a real product, something in Project X, where I might be like, all right, hey, I want to make sure I'm focused on the right keywords. What exactly do I do? All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Hope this works. I'm in like using two different browser windows here. Let's see. All right. So let's say that you guys, let's do scenario one. Let's say you've been selling for over a year, and this is like your second or third December that you're selling in, and you want to make it a December to remember. Sorry for being corny. That's like a commercial that comes on all the time, right? December to remember. How do you make Amazon a December to remember? And you've been selling a product. Well, as you guys know, our Helium 10 coffin shelf, we've been selling for years. And so one of the ways, let's say you don't even have Helium 10. All right. How can you do historical keyword research? Well, hopefully you've got brand registry. All right. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your account, and you're going to want your Seller Central account, hit the menu bar, go to brands, and then select brand analytics. Right. So there's a couple different ways. Again, we're first doing the scenario, and you can do this even if you have Helium 10. This is still an addition. Now, if you already have Helium 10, it's very doubtful that more keywords are going to um, show up that Helium 10 doesn't have. Probably all the keywords are the same, but it's still good to go through this process. All right. So the first thing I would do is go to top search terms. All right. Now this is a little bit tedious, but it's important. And so what you want to do is you want to copy your ASIN. All right. So copy the ASIN, go to top search term, and I would go to weekly and then look back at the 2 years. We're not going to do it completely. I might actually, I'm actually going to go ahead and start a list of keywords. Now, if you don't have Helium 10, just start like an Excel file or a Google Sheet or something like that. But everybody go ahead and do this with me. I'll try and go slow a little bit, even if you're listening to this on the replay, so that you guys can do this with me. So right now, get like a Google Sheet ready or an Excel file ready. Okay. Or if you have Helium 10, go to tools and my keywords, my list keywords, and make a list. And we're going to call it whatever your product is. And I'm going to make a list. I'm going to say December keywords, coffin shelf, December keywords, coffin shelf, December keywords. And it's not going to be a gigantic list. I just want to have the ones that are really going to give me the best chance at having sales. All right. So this is not going to be some list of like 500 keywords or anything. Now, where in the world? I swear I just made a folder. Maybe I didn't do it right. Hold on. Try it again. Says it's already there. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to show you guys how to do something. I'm not even like doing it right myself. Shame on me. Because everybody puts so much puts so many things in my keyword list. It sometimes takes me time to get rid of all. Look at all these things that people have done. Ah, so annoying. People need to stop putting folders into my Helium 10 account. Dang nabbit. There it is. Coffin shelf December keywords. All right. All right. Hopefully that gave you guys some time to set up your own list, or you have set up something in like a Google Sheet. All right. So again, we're now in brand analytics, top search terms, and we're gonna go weekly and look back at whatever the first week of December is of last year. So that one is going to be, I'll just give you guys a quick number here. It is going to be last year, week 49. All right. So week 49, and then top click product, just paste the ASIN and then hit refine results, where I was one of the top 3. And then basically what I want to see is, was I one of the top 3 that had purchases? All right. So you can see everything is 0% on this one. So I'm not going to include it. I would want, what I mean when I says top 3 for purchases, I need my product to have more than 0% conversion share, meaning for sure I got a sale. So I'm not sure what was happening. Maybe I was not even in stock. That's kind of shocking that I didn't have any keywords. Maybe I ran out of stock last year, which I probably did. So this was this wasn't a good example to look at. So I'm actually going to look back at 2022. Don't tell me I was out of stock in 2022. And that's actually the drawback of brand analytics. I can actually see now that I can't go back to 2022. I might have to do that inside of Helium 10. Helium 10 will go back to 2022. But sometimes if you're in Seller Central, you can't. All right. So, but basically what you're doing for each of those weeks from last year is looking if you had a top click search term where you were one of the top 3 click that brought you sales. All right. And so obviously I wasn't in this product that I'm looking at, but maybe you guys were. Take those keywords, drop it into your list. Uh, while we're still here in Seller Central, now you're going to want to go into search analytics and then now search query performance. And I'm not going to see anything probably because If I was out of stock, nothing would have happened. So this is going to be a quick one for me. But again, paste your ASIN into Search Query Performance for reporting range. Look at weekly, and then again, same thing. Go back to December of last year, which would be week 49, and then see what's going on here. And I actually do have some purchases here. So I'm going to sort it by search funnel purchases under ASIN count. What does this mean? Basically, if you've never seen this before, guys, search query performance inside of Amazon is telling you the activity with your top search terms that brought you impressions. And then it's telling you of each of those keywords, the activity that registered in the first 24 hours. In other words, if somebody searched coffin shelf, all right, somebody typed in search, whether it's in mobile or in desktop, they typed in coffin shelf, they clicked on your product right away. If they clicked on your product right away, it counts as a click. Now, if they clicked on a sponsored ad, like that's a sponsored brand or sponsored video ad, it's not going to register as a click. If they click to page 2 of the search results and then they click back and then they click your product, it's not going to count as a click. So this is a very small, not very small, but like less than 50% of the activity is actually registered in Search Query Performance, but it's still good. All right. Now, if they immediately click after searching the keyword and right away they add it to the cart, that is added here on the cart ads. All right. And then finally, if they actually purchase within 24 hours without browsing around to other products or doing other things, then that counts as a purchase. Okay. So what you want to do is look for any unique keywords here that you know are new to you. Okay. So that got at least one purchase. And then I can see here there was only 3 keywords in this week that brought me sales. And look at this. There is a keyword here that's super unique. Like, what in the world is this? The haunted mansion household. I know for a fact I am not tracking that keyword. Like, I had no idea my product was getting action for that. And then now, if I look back here, I can see that there's almost no search. Like, there's literally no searches for this keyword. Like, even under the inflated searches of Amazon, there was only 8 searches done in that week. But I had one impression, and of that one impression, I had 1 click. So I had 100% click-through rate. I had all of the clicks of this entire keyword. Is that an important keyword? Sure. Nobody searches for it, but hey, it got me a sale. So you know what? This keyword, guys, is going to go into my list. All right, there's my first keyword I got. All right, same thing. I'm going to look through, and you guys do the same thing right now. Look through weeks 51 and 50 or 50, 51, and 52 and do the same exact thing. And I'll go ahead and do it right now on my screen. And I want you guys doing it too. You basically, again, you're going through each one, and then you're clicking, you are sorting it by ASIN count purchases to see how many purchases you got and if you have any new keywords that you didn't know about. So go ahead and do that now, and I'll do the same. But I think I ran out of stock last year. Yeah, I ran out of stock in the middle of the month, so that was pretty quick for me. What about you guys? You guys see any new keywords that you never had sales from? Let me know in the chat. You don't have to say what the keyword is, but let me know if you see it. All right. So for me, this wasn't very beneficial because I ran out of stock last year, and Amazon is not allowing me to go to 2022. All right. So you guys might have a different experience. So now the next question is, what if I do have helium 10 and I'm not limited to just this information? Or what if you were not selling on Amazon last year and thus do not have access to search query performance for your own product? What are things you can do? All right. Let's first go through and pull out some keywords from other time frames. All right. So I'm going to go into Helium 10. I'm going to go ahead and run Cerebro on this product. All right. So everybody do it with me. Open up Cerebro and put your product in there. Whoops, I forgot I did not have the right ASIN. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so paste your ASIN into Cerebro, and this will be especially beneficial for those of you who have the diamond plan, because I'm going to do some diamond level activities, which is looking up the historical Cerebro. Okay, so for my product, I'm going to click on the show historical trend. And again, I already know that I was out of stock last year in December, but what I want to see is what about the previous December? Sure enough, here's December 2022. I had tons of keywords. So Amazon didn't allow me to go back and see what keywords were bringing me sales in December of 2022. But here in Helium 10, I can actually see that. So I'm going to click on December of 2022. And then this is showing me all of the keywords that I was ranked for in December of 2022. So the last December that I had sales from. And I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, show me any keywords that had at least 200 searches where I was ranked in the top 10. And then again, I'm looking for keywords that are like net new to me that I don't know about. And there's actually a lot here. Like, look at this odd decor. I know for a fact I'm not tracking that keyword. What the heck is that? All right. And one thing I noticed, I'm looking specifically for the black one. So I forgot to hit exclude variations. This is something important, guys. I don't think a lot of people know is when you have a variation listing and you enter it into Cerebro and you just hit get keywords, it's finding any keywords that you are ranking for any of the child variations. And for some of you, that's good because like if you have something that's size based, you don't want to look size by size, the medium, XL, S, et cetera, et cetera. You just want to know all of the keywords that any one of your child items are ranking for. But me, if I'm particularly looking for an ASIN that's color based, I'm not going to try and find keywords that have pink in it for my black coffin shelf. So I'm going to go ahead and hit exclude variations. Let's run this again. There we go. And then the same thing. I'm going to go to show historical trend. And we are going to look in December of 2022. Oops. December 2022. Hit apply. And I put a random number of 200 search volume or whatever I said. You can do whatever works for you. But I'm just going to go ahead and put in a baseline of 200 and a rank of 1 through 10. All right. And if you guys remember, there's a pink keyword here. That one has disappeared because that was for the other one. And I see a lot of keywords that I'm ranked towards the top. And this is like almost too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to raise this search volume to, let's say, 400, just to weed out most of these. I'm really looking for just like the best of the best keywords. So I'm going to put a minimum search volume of 400. Okay, there we go. Now we only have 11. All right. So take a look at some of these keywords here. Obviously, I knew that I'm doing good in coffin shelf. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that. But there are some keywords here that might be newer to me that I didn't realize I would get sales from. Like, look at this trinkets shelf. I didn't realize that I was doing well for that keyword. That had 2,000 search volume in 2022 December, and I was organically ranked 6. All right, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead trinket shelf. I'll go ahead and add that to my list. Put a comma. All right, let's see what else do we see here. Any other keywords? Cool house decor. Wow. Didn't know that I was relevant for that keyword. Let's go ahead and add that. Spooky bedroom decor. I knew about that one. That's about it. There wasn't even a giftable keywords for this one. So this wasn't that insightful. But hey, these are still decent keywords, right? Let's add it. Now, the last step here, and this is something that applies whether you were selling in previous years or weren't. The last step would be looking at your competitors. Okay. So maybe I wasn't selling, or maybe you weren't selling last year. So I can't Cerebro my own self. I can't put my product into Search Create Performance, but who was the top selling coffin shelf. Let's say you didn't know who was the top selling coffin shelf. How would you know? Watch this. Go back to Seller Central. All right. There's going to be a couple ways you can do this here. All right. Go back to Seller Central and then go back to the search analytics and top search terms. Now, what you're going to want to do is look back at the week of 2023 again, the first week of December, which was week 49, right? And instead of looking for an ASIN, if you knew the ASIN, if you know who the top selling coffin shelf was, you don't have to do this step. You just put in their ASIN. But let's say you didn't know. You pick the most relevant keyword to your niche. In this case, it's coffin shelf. And then put that in the search term field. All right. And now hit refine results. And now what's going to come up is the keyword coffin shelf in brand analytics top search terms. And you can see it right here. And now you want to see who had the most conversions. All right. Who had the most conversions? And I'm looking here and I see there's two of them: Gothic Curiosities Curio Coffin Shelf and LK Many Wall Decor Coffin Shelf. Look at that. Do you see why I'm saying that they were the top selling ones? One had 11% conversion, one had 12% conversion. All right. So then I just keep that in the back of my mind and let me look at week 50. And I see a 5.9%. And now here's a Gothic Life that had 8.96. All right. There's three ones. All right. So then I look at week 51, which is right before Christmas. And let's see who had the most conversions. The LK Many. So this LK Many was kind of dominating. So I'm gonna start with that, but I would probably do all three of those: the Gothic Curiosities, the Gothic Life, and this LK Many. What a terrible brand name, LK Many. Anyways, this guy was just crushing it in Christmas of last year, in December of last year, for coffin shelves. And so this is what I would do for my. I have a new product that's a bat shaped bath mat that I wasn't selling last year. So I would have to do this. I would have to look at who are the top selling ones. And then guess what? I go through the same process. The first thing is I'll take their ASIN, all right, and now put it back right here in top search terms in brand analytics. Take away the search term and just paste the ASIN and then start with week 49. All right. Hey, what were the sales or what were keywords that I don't know about that were bringing them sales? And you're sometimes you're not going to find anything like all that was different here. I can see that they had coffin shelves, plural, right? That's nothing unique. So then I look at week 50 and week 51, and I'm just looking for unique keywords. Like here's one that popped up in week 50, maybe that I didn't have on my radar: emo home decor. Emo home decor. I'm not going to add that because they got 0% conversion, but this is what happens. Weird keywords come up that might not have been on your radar. Nothing here in top search terms. So what's the next step? I go back to Cerebro and I do the same thing. I'm going to look back at 2023 and 2022. What were the keywords that it was ranking highly for in December of last year? Let's take a look. Go to show historical trend after I enter in the keyword or the product into Cerebro. And let's first look at December 2023. And again, let's look at minimum 400 search volume, where this product was ranked in the top 10 positions, and see if I have any different keywords that I don't know about. There's that emo decor word. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw that because now I see with Cerebro that not only were they ranking organically for it, but it's one of the very few words that they were targeting with sponsored ads. I can see that clearly here. So I'm going to go ahead and add emo decor to my keyword list that I was making. There we go. Anything else here that is new to me? Witchy shelf. I might not have known about that keyword. Let's go ahead and add that. Aha. Here's another keyword that probably just popped up: oddities and curiosities gifts. I bet you that this product doesn't always have 1,000 search volume. Let's open up the search volume history and take a look. There, what am I looking at? 12 of last year. Let's look back at all time. Look at this, guys. Look what happens every Christmas. the whole time, the whole part of this year, hope you guys can see this, those of you watching this on YouTube. Do you see how throughout the year there was like zero search volume almost historically? And then look what happens in December of 2021. It goes up 300% search volume. And then the rest of the year, nothing. Look what happened in 2022 in December. It goes up 1000% in search volume. Do you see this? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You are going to find keywords that throughout the year probably was never on your radar. All right. So this is like probably the best keyword I found so far. What did I say it was? Oddities and curiosities gifts. And let's go ahead and add that one and put a comma after it into my keyword list. Any other gift related? Here's another one. Edgy gifts. Look at that. They were ranked number 9 on that one. That's, I know for a fact, I never was tracking that keyword. Edgy gifts. I just found another cool keyword. Any other unique keywords I see here? Witchy shelf. Everything else pretty much is vanilla. I'm going to go back one more time frame because do you see here what I noticed? I noticed that in December of 2022, these guys were actually sending tons of traffic. So let's see if anything interesting happened in December of 2022. Guys, by the way, almost all this stuff, you cannot use any other tool out there. All right. So what I showed you with Seller Central, anybody can do that. Even you don't even need a tool to do that. You don't even need Helium 10 for that. All right. But what I've been showing you the last 10 minutes, if you don't have Helium 10, or maybe you have another tool like Jungle Scout or Data Dive, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do any of this. Because no other tool has this feature where you can go back in time and look at where somebody was ranking 1 year back and even 2 years back if you were never tracking it. So I'm looking back 2 years now, and cute shelf. Wow, what in the world? Letter-shaped shelf. That is super interesting. Okay. Witchy wall decor, skull wall decor. What in the actual heck? That is a crazy keyword right there. All right, so I would look on this list and then see if there's anything else that I wanted to go ahead and put down here. All right. So now, after all that, now I have a list of keywords. Okay. So some of you might be more. I only had 7 other keywords that I wanted to check. Because again, this is not an exercise that is meant to find 300 more keywords. It's meant to find unique keywords that I don't think I was ranking for or focusing on throughout the year. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these keywords, and the first step is I want to see, am I even indexed for these keywords? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Index Checker, and let's copy my ASIN again. All right. So copy your ASIN. So if you guys are doing this with me, copy your ASIN. Whoops. I lost my ASIN. Let me just find it on Amazon really quick. Some of you with photographic memories might memorize your ASIN. I am not one of those. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, let alone remember this stuff. You can see my Black Friday deal on this exact coffin shelf. Ooh, my organic rank is getting higher. That's good. All right, let me copy the ASIN here. My computer is super slow. I apologize. There we go. And I paste it into Index Checker. I'm not going to do the seller ID. I could do that one, but it's not necessary. And then I want to basically paste those keywords from my keyword list that I found. And how I can do that is I select them all, and then I hit export. Oh, I did it wrong. I could just put it directly to Index Checker right here. So that's what I'll do. I can go directly from my list of keywords. If you were using a Google Sheet, you just copy it one by one, no problem. Put the ASIN in, and let's go ahead and run Index Checker. And why do you guys think? Why do you guys think I'm doing this? Basically, this information is useless. I can't do anything on these keywords if I'm not indexed for these keywords. Okay, so that's what I'm checking for. And all I want to see is on the very right-hand side, here we go, is the cumulative. Does it have a check mark? So that's what you're wanting to do. Index Checker, the way it works is you look at the cumulative column, and you want a check mark, which means you are indexed for that phrase. You are searchable. Doesn't mean you're ranking for it, but you're at least searchable. That means I can run PPC traffic to it too. And as you guys can see here, there are 3 keywords I am not indexed for. Okay. So here we go. All right. This is the value of this, guys. This is the value of doing what we are talking about. So you're going to find keywords that you weren't even indexed for that could potentially be bringing you sales in the month of December. So now for those 3 keywords, edgy gifts, cool house decor, the haunted mansion household, I'm going to run those through Index Checker again, but I want to find out what is the individual keyword that's not indexed, right? Like I imagine I'm indexed for decor, right? I'm sure I have decor somewhere in my listing. So maybe is it cool? Is it the word cool that's causing the whole phrase to not be indexed? Is it the word house, right? So now, how do I check if I'm indexed for individual keywords? I deselect in Index Checker this checkbox that says maintain phrases. And now I run it again. And now it's checking word by word. And now I can see the exact words that's causing me to not be indexed. And here it is. Edgy, cool, house, the, it's not like a regular word, so I don't care about the. I know I'm indexed for the word the. Haunted, mansion, and household. Those keywords I don't have in my listing. So then what am I going to do about this? How do I get indexed for keywords? Now there's various things, but basically the easiest way is, hey, put it in your listing. It's probably not there. All right. So for those of you who have who use Listing Builder, this is the way you would do it. Open up your Listing Builder. Hopefully all of you maintain your listings in Listing Builder, because this is the easiest way to know, hey, am I optimized for this this keyword? And let's go ahead in there. I'm not sure which one I created it in. Is it this one? Nope, this is not the one. Let's open up this one. This wasn't it either. All right. So, but anyways, let's say you never had your product in Listing Builder. And so all you would have to do is add keywords to your list that were the ones that you just searched from the ones that you searched that you added from your historical research. All right. So let me, I should have kept that list. And now let me go back to it here. Hold on. Let me just look at it here. Here it is right here. Okay. Let me pull, I can pull it back from my history here, or I can pull it back from my history of my keywords. So let's just put these in Listing Builder. And then I say create bank. And this is my listing right here. Okay. So now it is showing me the keywords I don't have. And sure enough, those exact keywords that I wasn't indexed for, look at this. These are the keywords that I don't have in my listing, right? So then what's the next step is now I got to put them in my listing. Okay. All right. So I got to put them in my listing. And I'm not going to go through that right now. You guys know how to put keywords in your listing so you can get indexed for it. I got to update my listing, sync it, and then I would run Index Checker again. And then after that, after I've run Index Checker, now the next step is let's get ranking for these keywords. Let's run some traffic. All right. So you know what? I am going to go ahead and put these keywords in my listing. So let me try and do that really quick. Let's put maybe gifts, edgy, and unique gifts. Let me put add gifts one place. Let me add gifts, the word gifts in one more place here. I have the word gift, but not the word gifts. Interesting. So let's go ahead and do. How many times do I have the word spooky? Oh, I have spooky a lot of times. So I'm going to take that out of my generic keywords. I'll add gifts right there. All right. Haunted mansion. All right. Let's go ahead and put haunted mansion somewhere in my listing. I'm not doing this in a great way. I'm just trying to like do this really quick. But let's go haunted coffin shelf for your haunted mansion. All right, so now I got Haunted Mansion. Do you guys see what happens here on the left-hand side? When I add keywords to my listing I didn't have, now it puts a line through those keywords. That's how you know what keywords you've been having in your listing and not. All right, so I put Haunted Mansion, and now I just need the keyword household. I'll just replace that down here. Let's put household here. Oops. Household. Okay, and then put this into here. Household. Have fun with your haunted mansion household. All right, there we go. I should be indexed for it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sync this to Amazon. Or if you guys were just editing your listing in Seller Central, you would just save your listing. All right. And now what I want to do is I need to go ahead and run traffic to these keywords. How do I do that? That's easy. Amazon advertising. All right. So the first thing I want to see is if I have these keywords already somewhere in one of my campaigns. So we will go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to go here in my Atomic advertising to my analytics page, and I'm going to look at my targets. Like, am I targeting these keywords already? If I'm already targeting these keywords, all I need to do is increase my bid to try and show up higher. All right. So let's go ahead and one by one search for these. Let's see the Haunted Mansion household. I'm pretty sure I'm not coming up here. So let's go ahead and search. This is for my campaigns that have the word Project X in it. This is why, guys, you should always try to have good naming groups for how you name your campaign. So like if I'm looking for a specific product, I don't have to search through all of my accounts. I just search my campaigns that have the one product in there. So I can do that. That's why I could do that right here. All right. So now let's search for let's see, what's the keywords I'm looking for? Witchy shelf. All right. So one by one, you guys are going to have to do this. And I can see I'm not in there, right? I'm not ranking for it. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to pretend that I did this search. We don't have enough time. I want to save some time for your questions. I'm just going to pretend that I went and I searched all these keywords and I'm not targeting it now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new campaign in my ad manager that is just called a December keyword test. All right. So I'm just going to go new campaign. I'm just going to start a single campaign. This is a sponsored product campaign. That's going to be manual. And we're going to call this Project X December keyword test. All right. I'm going to do dynamic bids down only. I'm not going to do any bid multipliers. I will go ahead and do a custom rule. I have different rules here that I created here in Atomic. There it is right there. And I'm going to put in the coffin shelf. So all I'm going to do is just that one product. Where's my coffin shelf? There it is right there. So I'm adding the coffin shelf to it. I'm just going to do a small budget. Let's just start with like $5. I can do $10, whatever. Let's start with 75-cent bid. This is keyword targeting. I'm going to enter the keywords. And let's go ahead and paste those keywords here. There we go. Add those keywords at 75-cent bids. I hit next. And there it is. That's done. All right. Campaign rules. Do I need any campaign rules? No, I don't need any more campaign rules. That's done. I just created a campaign in Seller Central that's going to target these keywords that were bringing me or my competitors sales in previous Decembers that I was not targeting. Now, the next step is I got to see, hey, am I going to show up on the top of page one for these in my sponsored ads? So what's the last step in order to be able to verify that is now I need to go to Keyword Tracker in Helium 10 and find this product that I'm tracking. Here it is right here. And let's add those keywords. All right. Then once I've done that, I'm going to put these keywords on boost. All right. Putting it on boost means I'm going to check 24 times a day. This is another thing that no other keyword tracker is doing right now, where you can check up to 24 times a day the keywords. Here. So let's go ahead and put the boost on. Oh, that one doesn't have enough search volume. No problem. And there we go. Now I have boost on these keywords. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and be checking this sponsored ads to make sure I'm showing up like in the first 4 positions. And if I'm not, what do I have to do? I got to increase my bid. All right, guys, this is real. This was a real Amazon account I was doing all of this for. And that was a real product that I'm selling. And we just went step by step to go through, hey, how do I look for keywords that bring sales to myself in the past or to my competitors in the past Decembers that maybe I did not even have on my radar? We discovered a few keywords. What's the next step? We checked, are we searchable for those keywords? If not, we got to go ahead and add them to our list or our listing. And then after that, once we are searchable for it and we do have it in our listing, the next step was we went ahead and added it to a campaign in PPC so that we could delete this here. Hold on. Stop screen. So that we could go ahead and run traffic to these keywords that we knew previous years were bringing sales to us. All right, so now let's just go ahead and open it up to any questions you guys might have about this or anything else. Let's see. Mackenzie says, are your videos recorded to rewatch? Yeah, anything that you are watching this video on right now, you are going to be able to watch this on the replay. And this will also go to our podcast later as well. We got Yitzhak from Israel. Welcome, welcome. The questions, guys, by the way, I know there's a delay here, so I got to wait for you guys to see me asking for questions. But the questions can be about anything. It doesn't have to be necessarily about this subject. It can be about anything Amazon Helium 10 related. I'll give you guys a few seconds to catch up with the broadcast, and then go ahead and put your questions about it that I can help you with. Mustafa says, when will Listing Builder be available for the UAE market? I mean, technically it is. You just can't sync the listings right now. You can use Listing Builder for anything you want. Like, it's not necessarily tied to a certain marketplace. But if you want to be able to import and export your listings, if that's what you're asking for, make sure to send in a message to Helium 10 support, or through the suggestion feature inside of Helium 10. That will be able to make sure that your voice is heard, that that's a marketplace that you are looking for Helium 10 Listing Builder to be able to sync in. Jason says, is the monthly comparison in Cerebro or historical? Can you see keyword sales? I don't remember. I think you can. I think you can see the keyword sales. That should be one of the columns that's available. I was just looking at search volume just because I'm a creature of habit, but I believe keyword sales is in there. If not, that's something that we can easily bring in there. If you're talking about the estimated keyword sales per keyword. Absolutely. Keep those questions coming in, guys. Don't be shy. How often do you get a chance to ask questions live? Actually, I'll tell you how often. Once a month. If you're not an elite member, elite members, we do this every week and we have one-on-ones and everything. But to the community, this is the only time you can ask questions live on here. So don't be shy. Cool Deep says, for new product launches, how many keywords is necessary to search? It's as many keywords as you need to be searchable for that could potentially bring you sales. All right. So first of all, when you're creating a new product, it's not just about keywords. You've got to have a narrative there. We've been saying this for years. You've got to like tell a story. What problems does your product solve? What pain points? What does it fix? Right. And that's nothing to do with keywords. So first of all, you've got to have that, and especially even now, now that AI is looking at that thing even more, it just makes it even more important. It was important 4 years ago. That's why I would say it back then. But as far as keywords, just search terms, it's as many keyword combinations as is being used by people to find a product similar to yours. That's the bottom line. Is you want to be searchable for any keyword combination that anybody would use to find a product similar to yours. Like, does it make sense for my coffin shelf to be searchable for the word collagen peptides? No, because nobody would ever search collagen peptides to find a coffin shelf. But would somebody search maybe what's the keyword that we saw? Emo decor. Like, you might not have known that that's something that somebody would search for, but the data is showing us that there are people who search emo decor and they actually buy a coffin shelf. So what does that mean? That means when I'm doing my keyword research for launch and making my listing, I need to have the be searchable for the keyword emo decor. Now, if you're asking how many keywords do you actually launch for? In other words, how many are you doing some like really high PPC campaign showing up at top of search to try and get to page one? You cannot do that for every single possible keyword out there. There's probably 300 keywords that potentially you could get sales from, maybe only 100 if you're in a smaller niche like coffin shelves. So you cannot launch that many keywords. You need to have the keywords in your listing from day one. But for me, the ones I actually really focus on for launch is probably only 5, 10, max 15 keywords, depending on what my budget is. Guillermo says search frequency rank in brand analytics. What does it mean? Is it the same as search volume? No, it's not search volume. So search frequency rank is, let's say you have a keyword that is a search frequency rank of 500 and a keyword that has search frequency rank of 600. It just means that the first keyword is the 500th most searched keyword in Amazon for that time period, whether it's a week or a year or month. The 600 one means that that is the 600 most searched term for that period of time, meaning that the 500 search frequency rank has more search volume than the 600 one. All right. So that's like a good way to see, hey, is Helium 10 search volume accurate? Like, is it ordering the keywords correctly? Well, look at their search frequency rank in Seller Central and see, is Helium 10 trying to say that something with a 900,000 search frequency rank is searched more than something with a 500,000 search frequency rank? If so, that means Helium 10 is wrong. But I pretty much guarantee you're never going to find something like that 99% of the time. Sebastian says, is sponsored post something to try out or not worth it? It's already available outside the US. If you're talking about the Amazon post, oh yeah, it's absolutely, I mean, especially now that it's free, it's something that you should definitely try to build your brand and your brand store and your followers of your account. Absolutely, you can try it. I'll try anything that's free. Um, that doesn't take too much time. And then with AI and Helium 10 can make all the images you need for sponsored posts. It can even make all the captions you need. So it's like not even something that would take you time. So for me, yeah, doing post is an absolute no brainer to do um, right now. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Here we go. Cool Deep says, can we search products by conversion rates in a year rather than monthly, as you told? Conversion ratio. Okay, so if you're talking about that historic search that I was doing both in Search Crew Performance and in Helium 10, where I was looking at the months, well, that was very specific. I mean, the whole purpose of this training was, hey, I want to see what are search terms that could be converting in December that maybe don't convert in other months or that aren't even keywords to search for them. So the this is the only way to do that kind of search, right? Now, as you're saying though, um, can I search by conversion ratio? No. You cannot see the specific conversion rate of specific products that are not your own. In your own account, sure, you can absolutely see month by month what your conversion rate was using the business reports, but you can't do that for specific other ASINs out there. Amazon doesn't make that data public. Anything else? All right, guys, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week, remember, we do this once a month where we open it up with a training and then open it up to a lot of questions that any of you guys might have accumulated throughout the month. So make sure to tune back in December. We'll have another one of these. So write down the questions you have that don't get answered, and we'll be happy to answer them here in this group setting. And in the meantime, make sure to go back and watch this video and run through this process for your products and see how many keywords that maybe got sales for you in previous Decembers or for your competitors, and get those into your listing, get them in an Amazon campaign, and let's see how many extra sales you can get thanks to these strategies. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next month. Bye bye now.